I had another experience of lies emanating from a long-range reconnaissance patrol, LRRP. It seemed that lately we were doing a lot of single-flight missions either as extra duty or as separate duty. My helicopter took out and picked up about 20 LRRP patrols. The patrols usually consisted of 5 infantry fellows who volunteered for this dangerous work. They went out with light infantry weapons and a PRK-25 radio set. They were to do reconnaissance only. They were to hide, scout, look and listen and report. They would probably be all killed if any gunfight erupted, as they were only 5 in enemy-controlled territory. Very brave fellows to volunteer for such duty. We put most LRRP teams in areas around and fairly close to our fire support bases and base camps, but not always. We took them into specific insertion points and had prearranged specific times and places to extract them in case of lost communication. We would have them on board the helicopter and make pretend drop-offs at many points so as to try and confuse whoever was watching where they really landed. Sometimes my gunner and I would sit blocking the open doorway so that it would appear that they may still be aboard the helicopter. We did not like doing that as an aircrew, as we thought that it could jeopardize all of us by not being immediately on the triggers of the M60S at all times. I'm sure we fooled no one anyway. Most times things went fairly smooth, but sometimes we never saw the LRRP team again. Their command would lose communication with them, and then we would go to the extraction point and no one would be there. We would look for them and find no one. We would check the extraction point at the prearranged time and a few more times. Nothing. Eventually we would give up, hoping somehow they could make their way to a friendly camp or patrol. The ones we lost were the ones we put out toward the Cambodian border. Not a good idea. They were probably killed or captured. Captured would be the same as killed, probably with some torture thrown in. I only heard of one Army fellow being captured and let go while I was in Vietnam. It was a Christmas present, the VC said. Anyway, we went to a prearranged PZ and extracted a LRRP team who was only out overnight. We put them in near a friendly village that we landed in many a time. We never had any trouble in and directly around the village. We picked up the team, and one guy who seemed to be the team leader told me that there were NVAVC in the village. I asked how he knew, and he said because they were getting heavy fire from the village. That did not sound right to me. The LRRP teams coming out of the field always talked to me first, as they were not connected to our helicopter radio system. Also, it was a sort of enlisted fellow to enlisted fellow thing. He said he would recommend an artillery strike on the village. I told him that he and his team would not be alive if the NVAVC were in strength in the village. I asked the 4 other fellows what they thought. They all said that they took light, inaccurate sniper fire from the village. Probably 1 rifle, so 2 different stories. To me, it sounded like some kid using his grandfather's old rifle to ward off the Americans, and I told them so. The 4 agreed. The idiot leader was trying to make a big deal out of nothing. I became very angry at the leader and was thinking of throwing him out of the helicopter at 1,600 feet. The other 4 guys didn't seem to like the leader. He was a downright liar who was trying to get the villagers slaughtered because someone took a few pot shots at him. I told my AC about the matter, and we had a big long talk over the helicopter radio on how to report this to his command. We needed intelligent, truthful people in the front lines, not this clown. He should be put in prison as far as I was concerned, or shot. I was very upset and told the other 4 guys, this guy needs to be reported by you guys, and not only myself and AC. The leader was caught in his lie, and I think that somewhat subdued him. I did have my .45 at quick draw just in case. When we landed back at Puloy, we did report him, and as far as I know, he was not in the LRRPs anymore, and hopefully assigned to a rear area where he could not cause any more potential massacres.